Ready to jump into a topic that's been blowing up lately? We're talking about dating app safety,
I mean, come on, who hasn't had at least one crazy dating app story?
right?
But really, we're doing a deep dive today on this article about whether New Zealand should follow Australia's lead and make a code of conduct for dating apps.
Interesting.
And get this, NetSafe, that's New Zealand's online safety group, they said there's been a 25% jump in reports about, like, social media harm.
Wow.
Dating apps are a big part of that. One woman even said she got these, like, what she called really cruel messages about how she looks.
Oof, yeah, that's rough.
It's awful.
Mm.
And then there's this story about someone getting approached at work by a match who was all like, I finally found you.
Oh, no.
I know, right? Not cool.
That's a bit intense. And you know what's wild? This whole dating app safety thing, it's not just a New Zealand problem.
Oh, for sure.
It's everywhere.
Right.
We're seeing more and more talk about keeping these platforms safe, especially as they get bigger around the world.
Absolutely. And speaking of actually doing something, Australia is really taking charge. They've already got this updated code of conduct for dating apps.
Yeah, they're ahead of the game on this one. And one of the most interesting things about what they're doing is how they're making dating apps put in systems to actually spot bad behavior.
Like what kind of bad behavior?
Think harassment, threats, anything like that. It's like an early warning to catch it before things get worse.
This is about being proactive.
Totally. And they're making those reporting tools super obvious and easy to use. No more hiding them in the settings.
Like it.
Oh, and get this. They're going to have a rating system so you can see how well each app is following the rules.
Interesting.
Plus, they can totally shut down accounts of users who break the code.
Wow, so they mean business.
Yeah.
It's not just talk. They're really trying to make a difference. And this actually addresses those stories we talked about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Like that woman who got those horrible messages, this code goes after that kind of thing, and that whole I finally found you thing, totally not okay. This code makes it clear that stopping that, like, offline harm from online stuff, that's a big deal. They're really trying to make online dating safer.
Yeah, for sure. And in the article, there's this Australian expert, Lisa Portland, and she's hoping other countries will, take notes.
Yeah.
It's about making these apps safer everywhere.
Makes sense. Seems like a no-brainer, but I bet not everyone's thrilled about more rules, right? The New Zealand government even said they're not planning on regulating dating apps right now. So what are the arguments against this kind of code?
Right, it's tricky. The article talks about some of that, one of the biggies,
Mm-hmm.
balancing safety with, people being able to say what they want.
Like censorship and all that?
Yeah, exactly. People worry these codes could get too strict and stop people from just, expressing themselves. And then there's how you'd even make sure everyone follows the rules. We're talking about tons of users and, a zillion interactions every day. How do you keep track of all that?
Good luck with that, right?
Right. It's a huge task.
Okay, so let's say New Zealand does this whole code of conduct thing like Australia. What would that actually mean for someone who uses dating apps, on a normal day?
That's the big question, isn't it? I think it comes down to how people see it, what matters to them.
Okay, so break it down for us.
Some people might be like, finally. They might feel better knowing there are these stricter rules and that people who break them will face consequences. It could make them feel more comfortable putting themselves out there.
That makes sense. What about the other side?
Well, some people might feel like it's too much, They might worry about getting in trouble for something that wasn't a big deal, like if a joke doesn't land right. Or they might feel like they can't be themselves, like they can't speak their mind. It's a tough balance.
It's that classic debate, freedom versus security and where you draw the line.
Exactly. And it's not just on the companies or the government to set the rules. It's on us, too, the users. We have to be cool to each other online, be responsible.
Oh, that's a good point. It's easy to forget that we're all part of this online world.
Totally. And remember NetSafe. They're awesome if you've had a bad experience online. They can help you out, give you advice.
Totally. They're a great resource. It's so important to know there's help if you need it. But it also makes you think, with dating apps becoming even more a part of our lives, it makes you think, who gets to decide what's okay in this whole online dating world?
Right.
Is it the companies who make the apps or the people using them?
It's a tough one. There are good points on both sides.
Yeah.
It's something we need to talk about, especially with online dating being so big these days.
Totally. This is making me think about the bigger picture, We're talking about safety and freedom and responsibility, and it's all happening in this online world that's changing so fast.
Yeah, and it's even more tricky because
Right.
these aren't just ideas, What we decide actually affects people using these apps in their real lives.
For sure.
It's about making sure everyone feels safe and respected.
Totally agree. Well, we've covered a lot today. From what Australia is doing to all the debate about making rules, it's clear this isn't going away anytime soon.
Definitely not. And for anyone listening who's out there dating online, remember, you matter most. Be careful, be informed, and don't be afraid to speak up if you need help.
Perfectly said. And on that note, we'll leave you with this. As we dive deeper into this digital world, how can we all work together to make sure online spaces are safe and welcoming for everyone?